A public memorial for late Miss USA Chesley Christ is set for next week in North Carolina. You heard Ms. Bryant, they're referencing the impact that Christ's death had on the community, and she died by suicide less than 2 weeks ago. It's now leading to major changes and conversations within the Miss USA organization. Pageant officials say there will be a renewed focus on really making sure that pageant winners get the mental health help that they need. We took a deep dive into what mental health actually looks like in the pageant world and what many women say still needs to be done.
I think it's something that needs to be discussed openly more often because there's a stigma that comes with taking care of your mental health, even though there shouldn't be.
She was just a pillar of wisdom.
She was this powerhouse of a woman.
The beauty pageant community reeling after the death of Miss USA 2019, Chesley Christ.
She was so incredibly intelligent and accomplished and warm.
She was someone who was not only beautiful on the outside, but beautiful on the inside.
Her death by suicide now shining a spotlight on mental health within the industry.
It's a conversation that we do need to be having.
For some former contestants, those concerns started early.
I started competing in pageants when I was 14 years old. I developed what I now believe was an eating disorder, as an undiagnosed eating disorder, when I was 20 or 21 years old. I lost a bunch of weight, looked phenomenal, and everybody was just really, everybody kept commenting on how good I looked. But I was miserable.
Others saying some of the worst pressure comes from outside the organization.
The hardest part of pageantry is not between us girls. There's this pressure to be perfect, to say the right things, to look perfect all the time. It's something that's not spoken about at all.
They forget that beauty queens or anyone who participates in pageants are real people. They're not just sort of like this perfection, this, perfect human. We have our flaws, and reading some of the things that people post on social media is hurtful.
The year Chesley won Miss USA, Black women held the crowns of all 5 major beauty pageants. And from the moment she began her reign, she faced a barrage of racist comments.
See, when I read that, everything is true.
Being someone who breaks, the barrier and becomes someone who blazes a trail is great and amazing, but it also means sometimes more eyes and even more criticism. In the Black community, there's so much strength and resilience, and sometimes that same strength makes folks feel like they have to deal with it on their own.
But despite the pressure, many contestants say the pageants also help them build confidence.
I'm someone who was very shy, very reserved. So before I participated in the Miss Florida or Miss USA pageant, but I've come to be so much more confident, so much more comfortable in my skin. And I think that people don't understand the amount of confidence that it takes to stand up on stage, to speak, in public.
Still, many say the culture of pageantry needs to change.
I just hope that the Miss Universe organization and the Miss America organization, that they see this as the crisis that it is, and that they use it as an opportunity to talk about things more.
That should be part of our prize package, is here's resources for you to help get you through your year.
Mental health experts agree.
Everybody needs to work on maybe some things that happened to them in their past or traumas to help them become better versions of themselves, especially when a person who has won a title is now going to be in the national spotlight.
NBC News first to confirm that some changes are already underway within the Miss USA organization.
It sparked conversation about how we can better the organization in terms of mental health, and we're taking steps towards that. So now a therapist will be available for every single title holder, and there's going to be social media etiquette and different conversations that will be held throughout all of the next year and will be available for title holders for years to come.
The Miss Universe organization declined to comment on how it plans to address mental health.
I hope people remember her and remember the legacy that she's left on the pageant world and the world in general.
The Miss USA organization says the rollout of that new program is already underway, and that spot was incredibly edited and produced by our very own Alexandra Cruz.
Yeah, an important story for sure.